How's it going, everyone, and welcome to a video where I don't even really play Geometry Dash. I'm just going to be talking about the demon list, which to some of you that don't know what it is, a lot of you do know what it is. It is the top 150 extreme demons in the game. Basically, the hardest rated 150 levels in the game. There's a main list, which is the top 75 levels. And then there's the extended list, which is the bottom 75 of the list, which are all extremely hard. And the list has gone from, over the years, having like Bloodbath at the top to, yeah, Bloodbath being off the entire list onto the legacy list, and a lot of very difficult levels on the legacy list as well. I mean, even levels like Abasha Vortex and like Phobos, for example, Butiti 3, they are off. Adolos, they are off of the list. So Thanatos, you know, like very difficult levels are on the legacy list now, which don't count for any points on the demons list, because the way it works is if you beat a level that's in the top 150 and you submit a record, you can submit your video, provided the video is legit, like having either the sound of the clicks or showing the clicks, how much the list trusts you in general, you can get points, you know? So for example, if we click on Knight Rider right here, which is a pretty new level, which is already going to be kicked off the demons list, you can see people have submitted their records, and you get a certain amount of points for having beaten the level, and then you are on like some kind of leaderboard, right? Which is also split up between countries, and there's all sorts of different statistics and stuff that you can see. The demon list over the years has gotten extremely difficult. It's gotten so hard that the top of the list is very unobtainable for most people unless they have extreme dedication. Levels like Slaughterhouse, Abyss of Darkness, Sakuban Circle's Firework, Arcturus. These are all insane achievements. Just beating one of these is an insane achievement. And unless you have massive dedication and patience, you will not be getting through these levels. It's so hard, and the dedication required these days is it's truly astounding. Before, you could beat Bloodbath and be at the top of the demons list, you know? Kinos is number 14 now. Let that sit in. So with that said, there are only 150 spots on the demons list, which is actually quite a lot of levels. And I would say a lot of these levels that are lower on the list are certainly attainable with enough patience and dedication to the game. Levels like a Titan Complex, Erebus, which also used to be like near the top. These levels down here, Yatagarasu, a Digital Ascent, which I'm doing, which is 122 on the list, 122nd. Like, wow. Dude, Artificial Ascent is 141st. That's my current hardest, and it's going to be kicked off the list in like a year, probably less than a year. That's crazy. So the list has gotten really hard. And with that, there's been a lot of discussion about, should we extend the list again? Should it become longer? Should we start accepting records up to 200 spots, 250 spots? The problem with that is, so when a record gets submitted to the list moderators, they have to take a look at the video. They have to go through the entire video, make sure it's legit, and then they add it to the list. And it's quite a lot of work. And I'm sure there's a lot of people submitting a lot of videos. There's a lot of people that are spamming this website. There's probably a lot of things to go through to get this site running optimally, right? If you go to Artificial Ascent, which is an old top one, like from 2.0, there are so many records. Look at all those records that people on the list had to go through and add individually. One by one. Oh, you know, over time, I mean, that's a lot. I'm still scrolling. It's a lot of work to keep the demon list running. There's 150 of these levels, and that was just one example. That was one level. To be fair, it's an old level. Been on the list for a long time. There's a lot of records. And some of them, you know, have fewer records, like Knight Rider, for example, which is a newer level, which, yeah, I mean, there's still quite a lot. There's a lot of work that goes into the demon list. So as Geometry Dash gets harder, a lot of people talk about extending the list, going up to 200 spots, but I don't think that is really reasonable to add a bunch of workload onto the list, unless list moderators could do it, unless they add more list moderators. But it seems like as it gets bloated like that, it's just a bad idea, and it would be, I don't know, I think it'd just be too hard. With that said, here is my possible solution to the demons list that I think would be pretty welcome, and I would personally love to see this. I don't think a lot of people really care about list points. There are some people out there that really care about how many points they have on the list. However, those are the people that are the top grinders. You know, they're grinding a bunch of demons and they're working their way up, and they'll eventually get good enough at the game where they will get list points for sure. Like for me, I have list points like in Artificial Ascent that's about to get kicked off the list. Do I really care about my ranking on the leaderboards here? Do I really care about my points deeply? I don't care at all. The points to me don't matter whatsoever. However, what matters to me, and I'm sure what matters to a lot of people, is a demon list that has all of the extreme demons on them ranked in order of difficulty from general consensus from possibly the community, from the list moderators. So my idea for the demon list is, I don't think we need to extend the demon list for points. I don't think we need to extend how we're accepting records. As a matter of fact, I bet points on the demon list could probably get taken down to the top 100 levels. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. The top 100 list for accepting records and accepting points. However, a lot of people wouldn't be a fan of that. So if we want to just keep it at 150, man, that's cool with me. Just keep it at 150. But extending it to 200, the problem with extending the list is the 50 levels that you're extending it are easier than the top 150, and they're more accessible to more people because they're easier. And so those are levels that a lot of people are going to be submitting records for, in which case, even though it may just be 50 extra levels on the list, that's a lot of extra work because the levels are easier and more records will most likely flood in compared to the top 150. There's going to be more records for rank number 180 submitted than there will be for rank 2, you know, because not many people are beating Abyss of Darkness, right? So I think it's unreasonable to ask the Demon List team to extend the list. However, this is something that I think a lot of people want. I think what would be so awesome to see on the Demon List, I think this would be absolutely fantastic. This legacy list part right here, dude, just kill it. Take it all off, okay? The legacy list shouldn't be a legacy. It shouldn't be called the legacy list. It should just be called the... You know what it should be? It should be a main list of 150 levels, and then it should be an extended list of levels 151 to levels 500, however many levels there are of extreme demons. My idea for this is you would only accept points and records for the main list. However, the extended list would be there as a kind of ranking in order of the difficulty of extreme demons, because a lot of people don't really care about having list points, but they do care about things like, ooh, I just beat Accu. Is Accu actually harder than Cataclysm? Do people consider it harder, or is Cataclysm harder? I wonder, and it kind of causes debate around that topic. If you had an extended list of all the rest of the extreme demons that, I mean, it would take a little while to make. This isn't just like an overnight fix. However, it's something that could be fairly permanent, right? And it would also generate a lot of discussion, and it would make people be able to find extreme demons easier and kind of feel like they're making some progress, right? So the idea behind the extended list, having a main list of 150 levels and then an extended list of just all the other extreme demons ranked in order, which maybe the mod team could bring on a couple more people to help with that or something, you know, would be, it gives people some metrics to work towards. It doesn't give them points for completing it, but it gives people like a ranking in order of extreme demons of perceived difficulty of how the community perceives them. So it would cause a lot of discussion like, ooh, you know, what's a good first extreme? I think I'll pick, you know, Accu, because Accu is a little bit harder than Lost Existence. And, you know, I want to pick a level there. And maybe I'll work my way up to Cataclysm and Hypersonic, because Hypersonic is rank 450 and Cataclysm is 461 and Accu is like 463. I think a lot more people are interested in just what are the rankings of extreme demons, and do I have a tangible list to look at to start working my way up this list of extreme demons. And it can also help people bring some things to discuss with their friends or friend group or whatever and be like, oh, I just beat 461st level on the demon list Cataclysm, ooh, and I'm gonna work my way up, and cool. Like, that's how they can show what their skill level is in the game. It gives them a metric, like a ranking of this extreme demon that's in order of all extreme demons. And even though they're not getting list points, which to be fair, if you're doing beginner extreme demons, list points, whatever, that's not important. But you can still say, oh, look at I beat this level on the extended list. I beat this level on the extended list. And it can give people a sense of pride in beating extreme demons that are on the list, but they don't get points for it. So it would take a little while to set this up. You know, you'd have to get a lot of discussion of like getting all the extreme demons in there and all ranking them all in difficulty. But I think it would be worth it because once you do set it up, there's no real upkeep. You just keep it up there. There's all the rankings, and maybe you'd swap a spot or two depending on community feedback, but you don't have to accept points for them. You don't have to accept people's records, and you would still have the main list, the new main list of 150 levels that you would accept points for. So I think in this case, it would be cool to have just an entire extreme demons list, and clearly the Pointercrate demons list is, I think, the best place for that because it is the most popular list in the game. I think that would be awesome. I would like to see it. However, there's probably people that 100% disagree. You know, a lot of people are very purist and they say, oh, it's just the top demons list. You know, you can't expect them to have all the extreme demons ranked. This is just something I think would be cool. This isn't something I think needs to be implemented, and I'm not demanding it. It's just kind of my idea for the demons list, and my idea, what I believe would be really beneficial for the community. Because so many people ask me about how hard they think certain extreme demons are, and imagine just being able to refer them to the list that had all extreme demons on them, with the main list having the rankings and the extended list just being a rankings without records, 0 points of the rest of the extreme demons in the game. It would be really cool to have these all ranked in order, and just take like the legacy list off, you know? It's like some of these old legacy list levels are like insane demon, like Subterranean Animism's on here, and it's an insane demon. Like, I don't think we really need to keep these records on here. Maybe there still could be a legacy list where it's like some of the old, really old, like insane demons that used to be on here that have records just to keep some history in the game, I guess, if they wanted to. And then they could just keep the old records for Cataclysm and Bloodbath and things like that, but not include new records. Just include the record and keep it in place, and don't accept records for the other like extended extreme demons. I think that would be a really cool idea. You know, I'm not on the demons list. I'm not on the demons list team. I don't even know how entirely feasible this would be. I just think it would be a really cool idea to have something like that implemented, and I think the community would also benefit from it. Like I said, it would take a long time to set up because you would need to go through all the other extreme demons and kind of decide how difficult is this. I do think they could get other list moderators that could deal with that, perhaps, you know, maybe people that aren't super good at the game, that aren't doing main list levels, but ones that are doing a lot of beginner to easier extremes and would be able to help like rank those in order, right? I mean, a lot of these already are kind of ranked in order, like on the legacy list, like, you know, levels like Cataclysm, Bloodbath, Spectrum, Rave, Quantum Processing, all these levels that used to be on the demons list are kind of like already on order in here. Things would need to be shuffled around a little bit. And there's also just a lot of like newer, easier extremes that were never on the list that would need to be added, right? But you know, I think it'd be great. I would love to see that implemented. I definitely think this would be a good kind of middle ground. A lot of people want to see the demon list extended, but I think that's just a band-aid because as the game gets bigger and bigger, there's going to be more and more extreme demons, and people are going to keep on wanting to expand the list, which adds extra work on the list team. This would take a lot of work to set up, but after it got set up, it would still just be the same workload of just having points for the top 150 levels in the game anyways. Which I would even say you could probably just have points for the top 100 levels, because points really only matter to the top players. I don't think anyone like myself that has like one level on here, or maybe two soon when I finish Digital Descent, is going to be like, oh, I miss my list points. I don't think anyone really cares that's around that kind of skill level. Most of the people that are concerned with points have done multiple main list demons, really. So I think just having a list of demons, extreme demons in order of difficulty on here for people to check and kind of plan out what extreme demons they want to do next would be very beneficial to the community. And it would be a bit of work to set up, but I think it'd be worth it in the end. I would really love to see that. Anyways, there's a lot of discussion about the demons list recently, so I thought I would just pipe in with my 2 cents. That's what I think would be cool. What do you guys think? I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next video. Leave a thumbs up. And as always, peace.